This is a quick tutorial on how to import SFM models into Blender. This is the result we're going to try. We're trying to get Sergeant Johnson from Halo to look nice and fancy from Halo 2. So first off, I'm going to discuss the tools that I used. So I used Crowbar. Crowbar is a free tool that you can download from releases here. And basically it allows you to work with gold source, and then it has some nice features that I'll be going over. Mostly I'll be using it to download models straight from Steam. If you already have models from another source like SFM Lab, you can skip this step and download the files directly. Alternatively, you can just use this Steam Workshop downloader, and the link will be in the description and in the article. Also use Blender source tools. I don't use it in this tutorial, but it's a very helpful tool when using any SFM models. But mostly, this is the tool we're going to be using. So this is by Redeye, called Source.io. It basically allows you to import models. In this case, I'll be importing .mdl, so model files. And basically you just need to install the correct version. So keep in mind that there's two versions. One's for 2.8 to 2.92, and then another one for 2.93 plus. And the model we're going to be working on is getting this package from the store. And basically all we need to do is just copy the file, the URL, and then we'll be able to access the file. Just a quick reminder on how to install add-ons. Each of these add-ons have their own instructions, so please make sure you read them. But for the most part, it's just going to Edit, Preferences, Add-ons, Install, and then finding the directory where you installed it, and then selecting it and install. I already have it installed, so the only thing, and I have it enabled, so make sure once you install it that you enable it in this menu. So in case you went the Crowbar route, Crowbar has many options for you to use, like compile, decompile, and whatnot. Today we're just going to be using the download feature, and so you just paste the link, the URL that you got before, and then I like to choose the work folder, and then I browse and find the folder, and then all I do is download. Now that we have our model, if you got it from SFM Lab or downloading through the Steam IO workshop website or using Crowbar, now that we have the file, all we need to do is import it. So I'm going to get rid of my original model. So I'm going to go into the outliner and select all of the collections and make sure that I use Shift Select, and I will delete their hierarchy. And so now all we need to do is go to File, Import, Source Engine Assets, and I'm importing a model. If you have a map, you'll import a map. And here we have multiple options here because certain models will have everything all in one model file. Certain authors will use multiple components, so you would just select the appropriate components for you. So we're choosing Johnson's head, the marine dress hat, and I'm holding down Control, and marine dress Johnson. So, and now we notice that he's kind of grayish. That's because we have multiple options, and some authors give you multiple options here. So you notice that by turning off one, I can avoid seeing the other one. But we need to make sure that this is the viewport. So make sure you turn on the render view, right? Because when we render, it's going to be very different. And so when we want to hide something, we need to make sure that we hide both. Otherwise, it will still show up in the render. So I'll do that for the rest of these options that are applicable. So, and let's see here. And we start noticing Johnson's face. And one more. So, and now it will be in the final render. If you don't do this, disable in renders, you'll see both of them and you'll get that grayish issue. And now we have Johnson. And we also have a rig here. And the caveats to this are you might have other texture issues, which you'll have to work around with the UV editing, texture painting, and nodes possibly. So keep that in mind. And another thing, when you're animating, if you're doing poses, this is not as big of an issue. All of the rig, the whole rig is FK. So if you're doing adjustments, you'll adjust the parent. But if you adjust the children, it doesn't affect the parent. So using forward kinematics restricts you in that way for animation and will be much more difficult. But if you want to animate, you'll probably convert this into a IK rig or inverse kinematics, so that when you move the children, you can easily animate and the parent will react accordingly. Another thing we'd probably like to do is to parent objects. So right now when the head moves, nothing else really moves. So we need to make sure that things are parented correctly. So let's make this. And I'm just using Control P, and we're going to do Object Keep Transform. So now when the head moves, the hat moves. We probably want to do the same for the body, so we'll just do the same. We're just using Shift Select and then Control P and Object Keep Transform. That way everything's parented correctly. And you might choose a different parenting scheme, and that's fine too. And as always, references will be in the description and in the article. And I hope you have a wonderful day.